In this video, you're going to be granted 9 buffs for this build. Let me show you guys what buffs am I talking about. You are first going to slow, freeze, and shatter combatants, and you're also going to be granted unraveling rounds, and also going to be spawning in tons of threadlings. And to make this build even 10 times better, you're also going to be granted Devour, Weaken, Radiant, and also Scorching targets. And to top it off even more, you're also going to have the ability to stun every single champion in the entire game. Without further ado, let's get right into this nasty build. Let's start with the Hunter subclass. We are using Stasis for this build. For the abilities, be sure to put Gambler's Dodge if you want to get your melee back instantly. And for the Stasis grenade, I do recommend going for Duskfield grenade because we're going to use this exotic armor piece that would buff this grenade even more. So with this grenade, you can be able to slow and freeze targets. And to buff the Stasis grenade even more, we are first going to need to use this Stasis aspect. The grenade that we are using is a Duskfield grenade, so it would increase the slow field size and create a small stasis crystal on impact. And for the second Stasis aspect, it would allow you to get even more melee energy, but you would have to defeat slowed or frozen combatants. And that's what we're mostly going to be doing for this build and with the other buffs that we have too. So currently we can be able to slow targets, which stuns overload champions, and 2, we can be able to freeze targets, and whenever you shatter that frozen target, you can be able to stun unstoppable champions. Now for the fragments, this one will allow you to increase the damage and size of the burst of stasis whenever you destroy a stasis crystal or a frozen target. The second one enhances the grenade recharge rate whenever you destroy a stasis crystal. The third one will make your slow effects towards targets last longer, which includes your abilities and any other effects that apply slow. And we are going to be slowing and freezing a lot of targets, so by putting this fragment, it would allow us to get even more class ability energy whenever we defeat slowed or frozen targets. With this stasis fragment, we are going to be getting an overshield when we get stasis shards of an overshield or a damage resist. Let's head to the exotic armor piece we're going to be using to enhance our glacier grenades. Your Duskfield grenades have a much larger effect radius. Allies inside the Duskfield take reduced damage, and targets inside the area deal reduced damage to you. Now let's head to the weapons for this build. This one on the kinetic weapon slot will allow you to proc unraveling rounds and also spawn in threadlings. This is a strand auto rifle which comes with reconstruction and hatchling. And if we will look right here for the seasonal artifacts, there's 2 of them that would allow you to unravel and spawn in threadlings. The first one will allow you to get unraveling rounds whenever you pick up an orb of power, and the second one will allow you to spawn in threadlings whenever you damage an unraveled target. So all you would have to do for this one is first collect an orb of power, then you would have to shoot an enemy within those 7 seconds of the unraveling buff, and you can use any other weapon to spawn in the threadlings from that unraveled target. For the energy weapon slot, we are using this void sidearm that can be able to 1, give you Devour, and 2, also weaken targets. Here's what you need in order for you to proc Devour for this sidearm. You would have to get multiple final blows with this weapon that would grant you Devour to yourself. This sidearm double fires tracking bolts, and landing bolts leeches health from the target. If you do have the catalyst for this sidearm, this one will allow you to proc weakened on targets, but you would have to get Devour in order for you to do so. So for the sidearm, you'll be granted Devour and weakening. Now for the power weapon, you're going to be using this solar linear fusion rifle that will allow you to proc Radiant, because in this season, whenever you get rapid solar weapon precision hits or rapid solar weapon final blows, it would grant you Radiant. For this one, we're mainly focusing on precision hits, so whenever you get precision hits for this linear fusion, you'll get Radiant, but you would have to get it in a 2 burst cycle for precision hits. And also, whenever you get Radiant, you'll be able to scorch targets to unscorched combatants. And I'm also using this other seasonal mod that will allow you to combine your solar and strand into 1 mod. So we are going to be having solar siphon and also strand siphon in 1 armor mod. And for this build, I am using 2 weapons that are coming from the Root of Nightmares raid. It is the Briar's Contempt and the Rufus Fury. The origin trait for these 2 weapons is called Harmonic Resonance. Whenever you equip multiple weapons from the same set, it would grant this weapon increased reload speed and handling, and it would also increase damage to Tormentors, Lucent Hive, and also Guardians with their supers active. And now let me show you guys the seasonal artifact mods that I was using, in which case I didn't explain all of it. This one would allow you to get even more stasis crystals whenever you freeze a combatant, but you would have to defeat that frozen target in order for you to spawn in a stasis crystal. The next one, whenever you shatter an NK based target. The stasis crystals deals more damage, and also whenever you shatter a stasis crystal, it would release shards of ice that will slow targets. And yes, that one will also stun overload champions. And the next one, whenever you break a combatant shield with a strand or stasis weapon, it would have a chance to suspend or freeze the combatant. We're mainly focusing on the strand weapon, so we're going to be having a chance to suspend targets with our Rufus Fury. For the stats in the build, I do recommend going for resilience if you want to get more of a damage reduction in PvE, and also we're using a grenade build, so by having discipline, it would help you even more because it would decrease the cooldown for your grenades. Now let me show you guys how you can be able to stun every single champion in the game. We are going to be having overload auto rifles, so that would allow us to stun overload champions. Now for the unstoppables, we are going to be shattering them, in which case is with our Duskfield grenade. And last but not least is anti-barrier, because we are going to be provided radiant because of our linear fusion rifle. And also we're going to be getting anti-barrier sidearm as well. Without further ado, let's now head to the armor mods. For the helmet, I'm using solar/strand dual siphon. This one combines solar and strand siphon into one. So whenever you get a rapid final blow with strand weapons or solar weapons, it would create an orb of power. The next one is Dynamo, reduces super cooldown when using your class ability near targets. And last but not least, I'm using Void Siphon. Rapid Void weapon final blows creates an orb of power. So with these armor mods, you're going to be able to get orbs of power for each and every weapon you're using for this build. Now for the gauntlets. This armor mod is called Impact Induction. Causing damage with a powered melee attack reduces your grenade cooldown. The second one is Bolstering Detonation. Grants class ability energy when you cause damage with a grenade. And last but not least, we are using a grenade build, so by having grenade kickstart, it would help us get even more grenade energy with the cost of losing your armor charges. So for the chest armor, we are going to be in point blank range, so by having melee damage resistance, it would help us reduce the damage at point blank range. And the second armor mod, I'm using Void Resistance. It would reduce the incoming void damage from combatants, and for this one in particular, you can change this one as you please depending on what activity you're playing. And the last one for the chest armor, I put Charged Up. It would increase the maximum number of stacks of armor charges you can carry by 1. So instead of having 3, we are now going to be having 4, which will benefit from grenade kickstart. Now onto the leg armor. The first one, we are going to be using Recuperation. It would replenish health each time you pick up an orb of power, and we are going to be producing tons of orbs of power. The next one is Innervation. It would reduce the grenade cooldown each time you pick up an orb of power. And last but not least, I put Elemental Charge. Whenever you collect a stasis shard, you would have an escalating chance to give you an armor charge, because whenever we slow or freeze targets, it would grant us a stasis shard. Last but not least, for the Hunter Cloak, we are using Bomber. Reduces your grenade cooldown whenever you activate your dodge. And the second to last one is Reaper. Shortly after using your dodge, your next weapon final blow spawns an orb of power. Last but not least, I used is Powerful Attraction. Automatically collects nearby orbs of power whenever you activate your class ability. So if you guys would like to see more crazy builds like these, be sure to hit that like and sub button. I greatly appreciate it. And if you guys are interested, the dim link will also be in the link in the description. I hope you guys have a good rest of your day, evening, or afternoon. Take care and peace.